Okay. Bear with me.
Sure.
Well, maybe.
I can do it real quick if you want.
I got it.
Okay.
She's just building up the drama.
I'm sorry. I'm going to let you read it. It's taking me forever to open this.
Okay. Let me
Sorry.
run for it and you get ready for the next item, I guess.
Okay.
So pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL 30A, section 18, and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Southborough Taxation Aid Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Southborough website at southboroughtown.com. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch or participate in the meeting may do so in the following manner by finding the meeting at southboroughtown.com/remote meetings. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Southborough's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. I wish we could do that fast thing that the car ads do where the little tiny print comes up and just flashes up for.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well done,
Okay.
Brian. Well done.
Thank you. Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting on April 30th?
Yes.
I'm okay with them if you guys are.
Okay, great.
I'll make a motion to approve the meetings from that last meeting, I guess.
Second. I'll second it.
Okay.
Done. Okay. Okay, so you all received a draft of the letter that I started and Brian finished. Thoughts? By the way, Brian, nice work. And I was like totally at a loss for those programs. My brain was like, I know there's these programs. I don't know where to find them. I don't know how to get the info. Do you all have any thoughts on that? Do you like the language? One of the things we talked about last time was making sure that we made it really clear that as much as we would like to, we can't guarantee that this will happen in the future. So we just want to make sure that we didn't create too much of an expectation. Does anybody have any suggestions or improvements for the letter?
I thought, no, nice and direct and succinct.
Okay.
Sorry.
I had two comments on it. One, it says Southborough Senior Work Program. Isn't the official title Senior Tax Work-Off Program?
Yes, we can make that change. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I thought that one. And the other thing, this morning you sent another thing about, you thought to attach it about the real estate and CPA exemption.
Yes.
I mean, is there something could say a little bit? When I look at it, it's kind of like, okay, what am I supposed to do with it? Maybe a quick sentence to introduce it, available to somebody or something like that. And the other thing, it says 2020 on it, and I know we probably can't change that, but you expect that's the same for 2021, right?
So yeah, there's a couple. Also, I think the header said the trust fund committee. I'm going to change that too. I don't know if anyone caught that.
I caught that, but then I was like, is that because the money's coming out of the trust?
No.
You're gonna change
That's
that. Right.
That's a mistake.
Okay.
Actually, I agree with you, Hal. We should probably have something, least in my opinion too, I think we should have at least a couple sentences explaining, attached to the real estate and tax exemptions available through town Southborough Assessor's Office. You know, please note the dates are this year's dates. However, just the new year hasn't started and they will be rolled over. So I agree. It needs a little clarification. I wish I had got to that this afternoon. I just didn't.
The other thing too, I forgot to mention, it says all of this information can be found on the town's website. Should we give the address, southboroughtown.com, just so people know what it is?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
Good suggestion.
you can look up Southborough Town and you can come up, Google can
Right.
give you 100 different things to look for.
Great point.
Good point. Nope.
Those are all my comments. I have nothing else to otherwise, I think it's just fine.
Jeff, what do you think? Anything like from your point of view? Are we good if we
Yeah,
make
I mean,
those changes, you think? Or?
yeah, no, I agree with Hal. I think that's, unless you want to keep your phone number and then direct people yourself to the website all the time.
Well, how much like responsibility?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, I know.
Connie.
I was just gonna say, like, how involved do we want to be? Because like we are. I don't want to give the impression that we like work in conjunction with the others because we really don't. You know what I mean?
But I think it's well put though to have you have questions about these services and you've got the phone numbers there, and to contact, don't hesitate to contact us and we can help facilitate the conversation for you. I mean, I guess it becomes almost. I mean, how many calls do you think you'll field on something like that?
I don't think. Well, actually, I don't know.
Brian, I mean, do you feel like that could open the floodgates for you to get people just like calling you?
No.
Okay.
And I am interested since this group, as we found, didn't participate in a lot of those things, which I was really surprised at that. But if we can help them, I'd be happy to try to help them a little bit.
Well, maybe it gives you good direct feedback to hear how many people reach out and say to you that, hey, I didn't know any of this was available.
Exactly.
Well, I think that we're doing a really good deed on a lot of levels then, because if taxation aid had gone into dormancy, so no one really knew about that.
Sure.
And that we brought this back and we had a lot of great interest and qualified. Maybe we could help, sort of we're the Paul Revere, right? Like we're spreading the other word. Okay. How do we do the logistics of the letter? Are you gonna mail it, or are you like, how do we get the letter from its form now into everybody's names and addresses and mailed and all that stuff?
I was gonna mail it, and I wasn't gonna do it until I draw the actual check out of the fund for these people. So basically what I have to do is I have to draw a check out for each of these people and then put it back to the town of Southborough against their tax accounts, which is great. But I was going to time it so that all that kind of happens at once, which would probably be towards the end of next month, like the end of June.
So the next, I saw, do you change it to August 1st?
August 1st, yes. So the tax bills, the actual bills will normally, they will, but they'll all go out July 1st because it's usually a 30-day.
Oh, okay.
So if I time it right at the end of June, it'll be right when the tax bills go out anyways. So
okay,
that'll work. And that also gives us probably one more meeting if you wanted, where we could take a look at, the final draft of the letter and just approve it before we send it. With these changes we're talking about today.
that sounds good. We can have a quick meeting.
Mhm.
Because otherwise we can't all just write back. We need to do it this way, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
I
let's
know.
see.
I hate
Yep.
doing another Zoom meeting, but yeah, we can't do it any other way.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Elizabeth, did you want me tomorrow to try to take a crack at editing that, or did you want to?
Yeah, I'd be happy. Can we do that?
I'm sorry.
Can we meet to do that?
Yeah, do you want me to do make some of these changes, or do you want to do them, or like who do you want to do them? I don't care. I just if you want me to try it, I can.
Do you want to do it and then send it to me and then I'll do it and send it back to
Okay.
you?
Okay. And then when me and you are done, we can send it to Jeff and Hal, and even though
Okay.
we can't talk about it, they can get it ahead of time.
And
Okay.
we'll just rip it apart what you guys do.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just from an administrative standpoint, like what do we so because next year's gonna sneak up before you know it. So like what do we do with all of those applications and where do we save them and so we can compare in the future? Do we just save the paper files? Do you all scan things at the townhouse? I guess I'm just like don't know how it works.
Sure. So I keep them with my other trust fund applicants, who, from the other committee. I don't
Yeah.
mix them, obviously. I keep them separate, but I keep both of them, and I keep hard copies. And so in the future, if I'm gone or whatever, you'll know that they're in my files. They're very prominent, but they're locked. They're secured, and no one sees them. But I do. They're sort of like in a little safe at town hall that we keep these sensitive documents in.
Okay.
So one other thing that you brought that up, Elizabeth, that I wanted to mention, just so the particulars of last week, 2 weeks ago, the particulars of that meeting, since we did executive session, are not public.
Right.
However, the awards that we did, X amount to resident Smith or whatever, that is public information. So,
How do you release it?
well, unless we're asked, I guess we don't have to, but if we are asked, we can't withhold it or anything. It's
So do we do we want to? No, take it back. No.
Can a person ask about somebody else's application if they receive funds? When you say public, I mean, there's got to be some sort of limitation. No?
I would have the opinion that we could, let's put it this way, if any request was ever made, the limit of what we can say is probably, Tom Smith received $650 through our application last year. And, if they want to know the whole list, well, there's 6 others or whatever that got the same. And that's it. We don't share like why we did it. It's almost like just the facts,
Well, that's it. Can you say that 7 people applied and 7 were approved for the funding?
Correct.
I mean,
correct.
Without getting specific as far as.
That's all we'd say.
Yeah.
Nothing more. But it makes sense, I guess, that would be public information because
it is public money. So, yeah.
It's public money.
Sure, because now there's a debit on the trust account. I mean, you'd want to know where did it go.
Right. So.
Okay.
I mean, at some point, I'd like town council to weigh in on this whole privacy issue for us, and not only for you guys, but for the trust fund. Because one question I haven't got answered yet, and I don't know on my own, is, you know, how long we have to keep those executive minutes private, and if someone passes away, do we have to release? I just don't know how, if it's permanent. And
That's a good
What if,
point.
I mean, maybe check with Paul and assessors to see what, I know, I'm trying to think of what we do.
yeah,
I don't
and
think that
Jeff,
becomes a thing where it's like you've got to publish who got what, because that's more, but they might run across something similar.
you're absolutely right, and it's funny you mention that because I actually had a conversation with Paul, and I think he has some of the same questions I do. Like
Okay.
he doesn't know how long to keep your executive session minutes in place either. We know that in theory, you're supposed to release them after like a certain amount of time if things are settled or whatever, but I have no idea what that means. So,
Yeah.
so I think me and Paul at some point should make like a recommendation, have that reviewed, you know, with the town attorney, so we can.
Yeah.
It would be good to know that.
And nobody wants to be the guinea pig.
Well, we don't ever want to get in a position where someone makes an issue out of it, you know, a
Yeah.
resident for whatever, who knows why they would, but you know how things happen.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
So that's on our tickler list.
Okay.
Okay. I know that, see that you brought up a good point though, because we went and talked to like Pam at the senior center, Brian and I both did, to get some awareness out to make sure that the folks that were, you know, were eligible to apply even knew about this since it had been sleeping. And it would be really nice for them to know, like, you know, it shouldn't be like a secret. It's a good thing. Like, thanks for your help. We were able to really help, you know, X people. And so I don't know. And maybe, I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it could come up in the future.
Well, you want to publicize a program like this, but you don't want to also expose, I guess, the people who are in it to the point where it's like, oh, I see, you know, they got A.
Right.
And yeah, I get what you're saying, or trying to say.
Maybe I can just have a call
And some of them,
with her and thank her, or something.
Yeah.
That's
some of them probably don't want to be known either, Jeff.
No,
Right.
of course not. Yeah, there's definite.
I agree.
Well, it might come up, quite frankly, it might come up when we decide in the fall whether or not, or how we're going to talk to the selectmen about replenishing the funds. That issue is going to come up. It's just not yet. Well, we don't necessarily need to talk about it now, but we are, at some point, the issue is going to be pressed of needing to raise more funds in house. So, all right. Well, let's see. Is there any other business that you all think we should be discussing? No?
I think next meeting, we just wrap that letter up, and then
Okay.
probably the meetings after that is when we start like the new year and start thinking about what, you know, forward looking, I guess. Right?
I know the term goes through June 30th. Did we want to actively like solicit for the vacancy?
Oh, so we had, Hal, remind me, is it Mary Anderson?
Mary Ann Anderson.
So Mary Ann Anderson did contact me, and she was going to watch today's meeting.
Oh,
I hope I didn't screw her up with delaying.
That was kind of you. Your heart was in the right place there.
So she's hopefully watching today, and maybe she'll be interested in joining us, I hope.
Okay. All right. Cool. That'd be great. So, let's pick the next date. We've been doing the third Wednesdays of the month, so that would bring us to Wednesday, June 17th. How does that look for you guys? 4 4 o'clock is fine.
Okay to
Yeah.
me.
Okay, great.
That'll work for me.
I'm good.
Okay. Great. I'll get the agenda over to Brian. You can get that submit. I'll get you the minutes. Well, then I would, let's see. Can I just adjourn the meeting at 4:23?
Yep, and I'll second that motion that.
Yeah.
And I think we do have to do a roll call just to do it. So Brian is aye.
And Hal,
Jeff, aye.
Okay, Liz,
Aye.
All right, thanks all.
All
Okay.
right, Brian, I'm gonna try to start using the town email.
Yes. And I'm sorry, I meant to say that during the meeting. So, well, this doesn't have anything to do with the committee, but to
Are we
all,
adjourned or?
to all of you, I think you all have town email now, so hopefully you use that.
Yes.
That's how the links come over and everything. So some people don't like using it, but it really should. So,
I'm gonna switch over to that. So just, I was gonna give you a heads up. If
Okay.
you don't hear from me, it's because I forgot to check that account.
okay.
It's gonna take me a while to build the practice to have it.
Okay, thanks. No, I appreciate that.
All right.
Okay.
Take care. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
All right, take care. Have a good
Bye-bye.
night.
You too. Thank you.